Hello, everybody. I hope everybody had a nice Thanksgiving. In the last two videos that I made, they were about this 69 Gravely, the latest build I did, and what it was it has an oil leak, and what I found was on the bottom end here, it has a two-piece case. And at the very bottom of the case, it was leaking out of one spot. So what I did was I cleaned the bottom off real good. And I just put some JB Weld around, around the seam where the gasket would go. And I ran it on video and it still leaked a little bit, but not as bad as it was before. Now, on the last two videos, I'll put the links down below in the comment section. I'll mark them segment 1 and segment 2 if you want to watch that. So, at the end of segment 2, the last video I did, it still leaked and everything. So I went under there to see what was going on. And then I was noticing the case was like porous over by the seam there. And what I think happened is just about every Gravely I get has water in the oil in the crankcase. And what I'm thinking is this crankcase may have came off of one of the Gravely's that had so much water in it that it severely destroyed the whole inside of the transmission and everything like that. So what I do with those tractors is I just strip them down and I use the parts off tractors like that for different builds. When I had the bottom end off and then I replaced it onto this tractor here, I did have the jug off because I had to put re-ring the pistons, and I took a look down into the crankcase as far as I could see, and I didn't see any damage to the crank or anything like that. Had I taken this whole thing apart like I was originally going to do and replaced that gasket, it would have still leaked. So it's a good thing I didn't do that. So, long story short, I cleaned the bottom real good where I saw where it was porous. And I applied some more JB Weld on it. And I'm going to, I'll let the jack down. I'll back it out. We'll start it up. I'll let it run for that 15 minutes again to warm up the oil real good. And then I'll shut it off. And then we'll see if it still leaks. Just going to let it run about 15-20 minutes. See what happens then. If it still leaks, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. So far it's not leaking while it's running. So I don't remember if I had to shut it off the last time to make sure I wasn't leaking, but that's what we're going to do. So far it looks dry. But I'm going to let it run another 5 minutes or so, and then we'll see where we stand. Okay, I'm going to let it sit and see if we get any drips. I'll crawl back under there again. I'll wait about 5 minutes or so. This tractor's had 16 videos so far. I just made a playlist. So that's 16, not including this one. And this Gravely could have its own YouTube channel practically. This has been fighting me tooth and nail since I built it, but you'll have that with these. They're old. I don't blame the tractor. It's just unfortunate. It's the oil leak now that's really everything else. Like if the carburetor, I gotta clean the carburetor again or clean the points. Like that's nothing. But sometimes it's really hard to find the oil leaks on these. It's been about 5 minutes that I shut the tractor off, and so far it seems to be dry. So I'll give it some more time and we'll see what happens. It would be nice if I can put a load on the tractor. All the grass is cut for the season. All leaves are mulched. So maybe if it's not leaking, I'll just put the sulky on it and just drive it around here or something like that. There's a little hill I could climb and stuff. Put a little bit of a load on it to see if the oil leak's done. Also, what I'll do is when I put it back in the shop here, I'll just put a piece of cardboard under there again and let it sit and see what happens with it. I sure hope it stopped. Okay, so there isn't any more actual drips coming from the bottom of the crankcase where it was leaking, where it was porous, but I am noticing that it was a little wet, behind the crankcase here. So if worse comes to worse, like I said, when I put it back in the shop, I'll see what's going on then. If worse comes to worse, I'll have to drop the trailer hitch down, maybe pull the starter pulley off and see if there's anything going on behind there. It doesn't look like the fuel. The oil lines are leaking. Everything looks dry as far as that goes. But we'll have to just see what happens. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.